Now, for this morning, or for today, so let me move my chair up a little bit here. Okay, what I would like to do is figure out exactly how this photo etch is supposed to mount into the funnel here. And we've got our rings that have to go around the top. Well, they're pretty obvious. But the one that's got me puzzled a little bit here is this ring right here. Okay, it's supposed to somehow go around the inside. Now, as far as this walkway goes, where is it here? It'll be the larger of the two. Whoops. There we go with the whoops again. I don't want to pick it up with my fingers. Okay, so our walkway, I don't think it matters which way it goes up. I don't think there's an upside down to it. But it's got these little pieces here, I don't know if you can see them, that have to be mounted. You know what? Once again, I think you're too far away. You can't really see what's going on. So let's move you in. Oh, yesterday my monitor, I got it unpacked, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it there, but I've got it kind of, no, you're not going to be able to see it. Well, that was an absolutely terrible intro. In fact, I was debating on whether I should retake it, but I don't do retakes unless they're really bad. However, this is what I was trying to show you from the other side. Now, we'll swing it around here. The idea is that I should be able to, this arm that I put on here will go up or down, okay? And it will also go like this if need be. I can't ever see where I'm going to be wanting to have the monitor in really close, but if for any reason I do, it does go in. So that's what this is all about. I put this all together yesterday, just after yesterday's episode was done. Anyway, I just felt that I should show you because I talked about it. Okay, now let's get on with our photo etch. Now, while I'm thinking about it, these pieces here have to get mounted. You can see, I think you can see this without the macro lens, is that there's a little place right there where each one of these will get mounted something like that right there. And I think the time to do that is before I paint this part, not to paint these two pieces separately, or there's three, because you know there's another one like this goes right there. Okay, so that I can sort of figure out. However, maybe I will put the macro lens on here in a minute to show you that these pieces here that come out all the way around, what is there, 8 of them? Okay, they are different on one side than they are on the other. And like I say, the best way for you to see this is if I put the macro lens on, and you can see that there's a difference, that the Trumpeter has deliberately gone to the effort to make them different, and they're probably different for a reason. They have to be bent either one way or the other way, and if I bend them the wrong way, then the detailing is not going to be seen. However, I do get the feeling that this is going to be hidden anyway. Let me excuse me, let me just put the macro lens on here. Okay. I hope I got the light adjusted just right. But you notice on the top of each one of these little miniature frying pans that are sticking out of the side of this ring. It's flat. There's no detailing on that. But what I'm going to try to do here is turn this over and hopefully put it back down basically in the same place so that you can see it's different on the other side. It's not the same. So there's got to be a reason for that, and if we look really, really close at the manual, no matter where we look, I'll try and find the two best places here, and I'll show you. You can't really tell what's supposed to happen. Now, I am going to assume here that because when we look at this, there's no detailing drawn there at all. Even when we look really, really close, we're probably looking closer than anybody else is going to ever bother. But I'm going to assume that because Trumpeter did not show these as having any kind of detailing on them at all, that they are supposed to be, in other words, this is supposed to be, I'll just see if I can turn it over here, very carefully here. Okay, that it is supposed to be like this. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. At any rate, maybe what I should do is these either have to be bent up or bent down on this ring. And I think what I'll do is I'll bend them so that the textured side will be on the visible side, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't clear. I'll show you another drawing. It's just over to your right, and it shows after they're bent. It still doesn't give any indication. Okay, this drawing shows them having been bent down. And I flipped the ring over again so you see the textured side up. So I would think that if we were to bend these down now, if we were to bend these down now, we'd be doing it the wrong way. So I think what we'll do is we'll bend them down when the ring is like this. And then I'm thinking out loud, sorry about that. Now, I was just sort of eyeballing this ring here, and it looks like it's considerably larger than the top of the funnel. I think maybe we should take and lay it on there, but when this ring comes down and drops down onto the funnel, what is supposed to happen? So maybe what we should do is actually put it on the funnel for real, and just to see what happens. And then after this brass ring goes on there, then this part comes down over top of it. Let's just sort of back out a little bit and look at things differently. Okay. Now, when we put this ring on, I'll see if I can show you. There is a bit of a gap. In other words, the ring is sort of stepped here, and only this bottom part goes down inside the funnel. The next shoulder sort of rests on the top of it. So why can't I get this? There we go. Okay. So you can see how it sort of goes now. All right. Now our ring here has to go once again very gently. I have a tendency when the camera's on record to sort of hurry, and that can sometimes be a disaster. Now, how is this supposed to go? Oh, okay. I had thought that I don't want to be touching this with my greasy fingers. Do I have the wrong ring? Do I have the ring maybe for the short one? Because it's, if you remember, these funnels are the same height, and they are the same width, but I guess you would say they're a different length. So maybe I've got the wrong one here. Just a moment. Yeah, I have the wrong one. I'll very carefully take this off. Okay, let's see how the one that's supposed to go on there would go. Oh yeah, that fits better. All right, so it are these things maybe supposed to stick out like that? I was under the impression that these little things all the way around the outside had to be bent down. I'm trying not to touch it with my fingers here. But I guess it's going to be impossible. Oh. What do you think? You think those are supposed to be sticking out or just bent down a little bit? Have we got this in place here? Just let me take it off camera a bit. Okay. There. Maybe they're supposed to stick out. In which case, if they do, we'll have them with the detailed side up. I don't know. It's just not clear. It does look to me, if you look at these two different drawings here, this one to this one, it does appear that they have bent these things down at least a little bit. Now here's another thought. Is it possible that these little things sticking out the sides are supposed to be tie downs? So that, the tarp that goes over the top to keep the rain out, you'd have something that you could tie the ropes onto, but then there's none right there. Almost looks like I bent this one. Well, they're probably going to be worse before they get better anyway. Let's move on to another aspect of this. I think we beat this to death. All right, let's see if we can do something productive today. Okay, let's set up, and I think, now I know that the most ideal thing would be if we were to, solder this on, but I think what would happen is the solder would end up wicking its way into all those little slats. So I'm just going to use CA. I'm going to try and use a very, very minute amount. I'm probably going to try and rig up some sort of a jig that will hold these things perpendicular. I'm not exactly sure yet how I'm going to do it, but we'll think of something. Now, a couple of moments ago, I almost lost these. I'd forgotten that I'd put them on the manual, and then I sort of very unceremoniously sort of tossed the manual to the side, but these managed to not get lost. So that was a bonus. Okay, now this is a double-sided tape. Whenever I do this, I'll tell you a little story. I saw a movie, can't remember too much about what it was about, but it had to do with a train conductor or a porter, and this would go way back in the 30s or whatever, and they wanted to get rid of this guy. He was getting older. I think that was the problem. They wanted to get rid of him. So the deal was that if you served a pickle, you would stick a toothpick in it, or like a cocktail stick. And then they changed the rules, and they knew he wouldn't read the rules. And the rule was that you stick the toothpick just under the skin before you serve it to the guest. Now this goes way back when, people were ridiculous about that sort of thing. And so he didn't do it, and they used that as an excuse to get rid of him. Now, I saw that movie, it's gotta be, years ago. But every time I do this, I think of that incident where he was supposed to just stick the cocktail stick just under the skin of the pickle. Now, isn't that silly? Anyway, where are we going here? All right. Now, don't need very much. Now, don't hurry. That's when you have trouble. Okay, put one here. Put one back here. Okay, now, the plan is that when I put this across like this, the area to be glued is going to be suspended up so that the CA glue is not going to wick its way along the bottom. At least that's the plan. Now, for the rest of the plan. Okay, I'm going to be wanting to put a little bit of CA. I don't know if I'll be using my applicator here or what. So normally what I do is I set up the camera first and then I try and work around it, but this time I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to want to come in like this very carefully and be able to steady myself on the tabletop. And then just sort of drop the little droplet, micro droplet, right on that, this part right here. And now I've got to rig up something that's going to hold it down. We will move in, don't worry, we will move in. Now I want to rig up a jig that's going to hold this perpendicular. It shouldn't be too complicated. Well, we'll see. Okay. Now I can imagine that these are going to bend very easily. So let's not squeeze too hard here. And this is fun. Now this is 1,000 times more fun than airbrushing. Now if I put that like that, that should hold that perpendicular. Now is that going to be too heavy? Let me just test it out here. No, I don't think so. I think it'll be all right. Now the idea is we very, very slowly and carefully bring this over so that it's going to go down in that little slot. You know what? I should put the macro lens on. Now, we will move in just a little bit closer in a minute here, but I was thinking that perhaps I'm best off doing the one that's furthest away from me first, and then it won't be in the way for when I do the other one. So we'll move in and we'll drop this in place. I haven't tried it yet. I almost did, but not quite. Okay, now got my CA thin here, and don't want to put my arm in it. Now I'm going to be wanting to go just like this. Now the problem is with these high definition cameras is you can see every time there's a little hair sticking out of my nose that shouldn't be there or something like that. Am I going to improve it by turning the light on or not? I think it's a little sharper. Okay, now maybe this might be better. Now, very, very gently here. Very gently. Okay, it's in place. Now, I don't want to accidentally knock everything over when I'm reaching for my CA here. Okay, we're just sampling a little bit of CA. And we just want to put, does that look straight? Oops, I got CA on my finger. There, now it looks at 90 degrees now. Because once this is cured, that's going to be it. Okay, once again, you can see it way better than I can. Does it look like I got it? I think I did. I think I got it. I don't know if I want to try and put any more on or not. This might be a mistake. Oh, there, got it for sure that time. Got it for sure. Okay, let's let that cure. And while that's curing, I better go edit out some footage here, because I just realized a moment ago that I had taken a lot of footage. And it's already 1:26 in the afternoon. I don't think we need to do any kind of stress tests. I think we can probably take our little tweezers off now. I was wondering how much time has passed now since I put that CA on there, and then I remembered that the last thing I said was it's 1:26 in the afternoon, and right now it is almost 2:41. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes that this has had to cure. So I would think it's probably cured here. So let's just recompose and then carefully release the tweezers and see if it falls over. Well, I know it's not going to fall over. Okay. Now, very slowly and very gently here. There we go. Now, we should be able to do the other one the same way. But that's not going to be in today's episode. I might do this this evening, and if I do, I might video it, and yet on the other hand, why bother? I mean, it's going to be identical to what we already did. Now, I have this desire to want to give it a bit of a stress test here, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be pretty strong, but it's also going to be easily broken off. And yeah, I'm still planning on doing the Stynylrez airbrush on this part right here, and it will work really well. I think that once we get it sprayed, we're not even going to see that I CA'd that on there. It's gonna blend in really good. Now the sad part of it is that it's probably not going to be seen, but it's been fun, right? In the meantime, speaking of fun, thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.